Welcome to the Explainer. We're jumping right in today because we're looking at a high-stakes matchup that practically every homeowner is going to face eventually, choosing the right water heater. But don't worry, we are absolutely not getting bogged down in dense plumbing jargon today. Instead, we're going to break down the key differences between traditional and power vent water heaters, making it crystal clear which one actually belongs in your home.
Look, if you're suddenly dealing with a failing unit, you know that creeping feeling of panic. Cold showers are a fantastic motivator, sure, but they can also force you into a rushed decision. You need to make a quick but highly informed purchasing choice. And the real secret here? Your decision should actually be based entirely on your home's unique infrastructure.
To get you that answer fast, here is our roadmap for today. 1. The Great Venting Divide. 2. Space and installation. 3. Air pressure and safety. 4. Upfront versus long-term costs. And 5. The final choice. This head-to-head comparison is going to help you evaluate these technologies across all the key battlegrounds. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the Great Venting Divide, natural draft versus a powered fan.
Here's the thing. Choosing a water heater is honestly more about safely venting combustion gases than the tank itself. Traditional units rely on a passive natural draft. Think of it kind of like your warm breath naturally floating upward into cold winter air. Power vents, on the other hand, use a powered fan to force exhaust through the vent system. If the traditional unit is like warm breath rising, the power vent is literally like vigorously blowing that exhaust through a straw.
Moving right along to Section 2, space and installation, location, location, location. Take a second and visualize your own basement or utility closet right now. Replacing your unit is essentially a personal spatial puzzle. Traditional water heaters are super straightforward, but they have a massive constraint. They require a vertical venting path. Because they rely on that natural draft we just talked about, the hot gases must go straight up, demanding very specific room conditions to work safely. But what happens if you don't have that perfect vertical path? Our source material gives us this fantastic insight. Power vent systems may be a better fit when venting needs flexibility, such as routing challenges in basements or closets. That motorized fan gives you incredible flexibility. It's a total game changer. You can route the exhaust horizontally, maneuver through complex bends, or even vent out a sidewall. It solves the spatial puzzle when going straight up simply isn't an option. That brings us to Section 3, air pressure and safety, managing the invisible forces. So both of these systems must be installed correctly to manage combustion safely, right? But they react very differently to the invisible dynamics of your indoor air pressure. You might not realize it, but everyday items like exhaust fans, clothes dryers, and your HVAC systems are literally pulling air out of your house. In a tightly sealed home, they create negative pressure, competing for the exact same air your water heater needs to vent safely. Making sure you have proper makeup air and ventilation is absolutely critical. And here's how the two contenders handle that pressure. Traditional venting can easily get disrupted by those pressure changes or even just heavy wind outside because it relies on that delicate, natural upward draft. But the power vent? That built-in fan assists exhaust removal reliably under varying conditions. It powers right through those pressure fluctuations because it doesn't rely solely on natural physics. It actually has some muscle behind it. Now let's cut through some of the industry jargon you might hear from salespeople. Venting type does not dictate how fast your water heats up. Efficiency metrics, like thermal efficiency, the energy factor, or EF, and recovery rate are what actually determine your heating performance regardless of vent type. Power venting doesn't automatically mean the heater is more efficient at actually heating your water. It just means it vents more reliably. We still have to look at these specific performance metrics to judge the tank's raw heating power. Let's talk money in Section 4, upfront versus long-term costs, the financial breakdown. We have to see how these systems impact your wallet, because the initial sticker price is rarely the whole story. Looking at upfront costs, the traditional unit is generally lower, while the power vent is generally higher. But it's the extra needs that reveal what you're really paying for. The traditional unit needs your existing vertical vent to be in good shape. The power vent, however, requires extra electrical components, the fan, the controls, and you're going to need a dedicated electrical connection just to run them. But here is the hidden cost trap that gets so many homeowners. Traditional units look way cheaper on the showroom floor. However, modifying old venting to meet traditional unit requirements can totally erase those upfront savings. If your home's existing chimney or vertical vent needs difficult, extensive modifications to meet current building codes, the cost of that labor will absolutely skyrocket. Finally, we've arrived at Section 5, the final choice, your buyer's guide. The ultimate goal here isn't just picking the coolest technology, it's flawlessly matching the venting method to your home's infrastructure. To empower you, let's step through a super practical buyer's checklist. Step 1, check your existing vent path, vertical and up to code. Traditional might win. Step 2, identify routing constraints. Stuck in a tight basement? Power vent is your best friend. Step 3, assess pressure risks. Tightly sealed home with massive exhaust fans? Definitely lean toward power vent. Step 4, confirm electrical access. Remember, power vents need an outlet. And Step 5, compare efficiency specs to meet your family's actual hot water demands.
And a vital piece of advice to keep in your back pocket: small installation details can strongly influence safety and day-to-day performance. Our source highly recommends that you always have a licensed professional evaluate your venting, your combustion air supply, and your electrical setup when replacing an older unit. It is not just about swapping a tank, it's about integrating a combustion appliance safely into your home's entire ecosystem.
So we've broken down the science, the space, and the costs. I want to leave you with this one critical question to think about. Which venting method does your home's infrastructure actually demand? Go take a look at your utility room, check your venting path, and you'll know exactly what to do. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and happy inspecting.